the dusty road. In a remote village on the outskirts of rural Georgia, mornings were filled with the rustle of leaves, the crackling of firewood, and the laughter of children heading to school. But for 12-year-old Grace Thompson, mornings were just another reminder of what she didn't have. She stood barefoot on the dusty gravel path that led to Maple Creek Elementary. Her neighbors, mostly boys and a few lucky girls, hurried past her with backpacks, lunchboxes, and clean sneakers. Grace only had a dented water pail and a dream. Her father worked long hours at a lumberyard. Her mother cleaned homes. Feeding 5 children took everything they had. School supplies? Not a chance. Just a luxury. But Grace wasn't ready to give up. The girl who watched through the window. Each day after finishing her chores, washing clothes by hand, helping her younger siblings, Grace would wander near the school. She'd hide behind an old oak tree and peer through the dusty windows, listening to lessons she wasn't allowed to attend. She copied the alphabet into the dirt with a stick. She memorized multiplication tables from half-heard recitations. When night fell, she practiced by candlelight using burnt matchsticks on grocery bags. Then one day someone saw her. Mr. Daniels, the school's aging principal, caught a glimpse of her behind the window. Instead of scolding her, he watched. For weeks, he observed how this barefoot girl mirrored every lesson like she was inside the classroom. One crisp autumn evening, he approached her. "You want to learn?" he asked. Grace nodded shyly. "You don't even have shoes," he said. "I don't need shoes to learn," she replied. Lessons in the shadows. Moved by her determination, Mr. Daniels took a risk. After school hours, while the hallways emptied, he began tutoring Grace behind the gym building. No one knew. He brought her old textbooks, gave her spelling drills, and taught her long division. They met every evening, sometimes using a flashlight when it got dark. But small towns gossip quickly. One of the school board members saw them and told Grace's parents. Her father, worn down and bitter, was furious. "You're not some college girl, Grace. We need help here. You think books will put food on this table?" He forbade her from returning. She cried that night, but she didn't stop. When her family slept, she snuck out. She studied under the stars, books hidden in the barn, hope tucked in her heart. The scholarship test. When the county announced a special scholarship exam for underprivileged students, Mr. Daniels entered Grace's name, without her father's permission. On the morning of the test, she walked 5 miles barefoot to the town center. Her feet were blistered. Her clothes were hand-me-downs. But her mind was sharp as a blade. She sat between kids from wealthier schools and filled in the test paper like her life depended on it. Because it did. Grace makes headlines. 2 weeks later, a letter came. Grace had scored the highest in the county. A local newspaper ran a headline, "Barefoot Genius Stuns State." Sponsors donated school supplies, clothes, and, yes, shoes. She received a full scholarship to Northbridge Academy, a prestigious boarding school. Her father, silent for days, finally left a small box at her bedside. Inside, a pair of brand-new sneakers. No words. He didn't have to say them. Rising through the storm. At Northbridge, Grace was different. Her accent, her background, her past, it all made her stand out. But not for long. She worked harder than anyone. She joined the debate club, won science fairs, and wrote essays that made her teachers cry. By 17, she was a published writer. By 18, she'd earned a full ride to Columbia University. Her first viral article was titled, "No School, No Shoes, Just Unstoppable Determination." The piece sparked a national conversation about education inequality. Donors, foundations, and politicians began asking, how many other Graces are we missing? Returning home 10 years later, Grace stood on a newly built stage in her hometown. A new public school, built with help from donors inspired by her story, was being named after her, the Grace Thompson Academy for Girls. Her father sat quietly in the front row, a proud smile on his aging face. "You made it, baby girl," he whispered. Grace smiled through tears. "I had no choice. I had to believe in something when no one else did." Today, thousands of young girls across the country read about Grace in textbooks. Not because she was handed an opportunity, but because she carved one with nothing but her will. Because sometimes the strongest voices come from the quietest places. And sometimes the girl with no shoes leaves footprints that change the world.